I've been a fan of the Elixir since it came out, and it does exactly what I need to do. Long off the tee, holds a lot of greens. I can easily spin it with the wedges. Performs very well, okay? When the new ball came out, the Vero X1, I was skeptical because they say it's longer off the tee, but usually that means it's a harder cover. Well, it's not a harder cover. It's just as spinny as the Elixir, but it just pounces off the face. It is amazing. So I highly recommend it if you're looking for an extra couple yards off the tee and still want that same spin number that you get in your wedges and your irons and everything else. It is an awesome ball. Team Encore. See that? Got me for life.
For more information, their website is www.encoregolf.com. And be more with Encore. And welcome back to Big's Golf Talk and BGT-TV here on YouTube, LinkedIn, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon, and Native Family Radio. Yeah, the radio part's on Native Family Radio.
Yeah. Hold on a second, Biggs. Hey, yeah. I said go buy me my M&Ms and pull the blue ones out. Hurry up. Go. Okay. Tell you, man, you can't even get good help nowadays.
I send you an assistant, and that assistant can't even do their job.
What? I mean, maybe he's colorblind. I asked him for blue, and he's giving me all the blue M&Ms.
But do you realize blue M&Ms have to be specially made? They're not automatically a part of the color.
I'm just saying, I'm special. Give me my damn blue M&Ms. That's all.
Peanut or non-peanuts?
I love me some M&M peanuts, but I can go with plain peanuts. Without peanut. I can go either way, but I do prefer the M&M peanut. And I really like those caramel ones. Have you tried the caramel ones?
I have tried those caramel ones, or the toffee ones.
I haven't had the toffee, but I've had that peanut butter one.
I think your first issue was having a male assistant. That's the problem.
This is an equal opportunity place of employment. We don't care. All I care about
to look at the male assistant all day.
Nobody can ever say that Big's Golf Talk is not diverse. I have a Puerto Rican, I have a woman, and I have a midget.
I thought you were going to say a white girl. And I was like, I don't know how politically correct that is, but okay.
Nope. He said a woman and a midget. That's what he said. I haven't met the midget yet. I guess I got to go back to New Mexico and find the midget.
I'm totally sorry, little people. Is that right? Okay, little people.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
I just want my M&Ms properly served. That's all I want. Blue.
I wish I was your assistant for a day.
You'll be my assistant. I'd run you ragged. I'd be like, massage.
I was
massage. No.
For the day.
I gotta my neck.
You into shape.
Go run my back.
Oh boy.
I need my facial stuff now.
The producer, when we were doing the segment with On Par with Amanda, the producer's like in my ear. He says, "Hey, look at the monitor." And I'm looking at the monitor and I see Billy doing his thing. And I'm like, what the heck is he doing?
Oh yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
And what did you see me doing in the blurry? Because besides,
what did he say when you heard him? Oh, he's got 13 minutes. Well, all he needs is a minute and 30. So that's all he needs.
Yeah, that's all I need. But I mean, you guys would. I mean, even when you guys started the show, what were you guys talking about? You started her segment talking about me. It's all good, man. It don't matter.
Boy.
I could not escape your lips. You had to talk about me. That's all I'm saying. Love me, hate me, you still talk about me.
That's exactly right.
That's all that, you guys can say whatever you want. And that producer don't know nothing because I was eating some healthy air pop popcorn. That's what I was chewing on. It's healthy. Healthy. You know what I'm saying? So healthy. Yeah. Not healthy, healthy.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, let's get back to Billy's golf talk. Come on.
Billy, what?
Billy's golf talk. Let's get back to it. BGT, Billy's Golf Talk. And the 2 L's are big.
So Biggs
BILL.
Golf Talk. Biggs Golf
Bill's Golf Talk.
No. All right.
I got the power of Christ.
I got the power of Christ right here too.
Yes, you do. Yes, that's very nice.
I've got a rental sign.
She's renting.
Those listening to us on a radio side is like, what the hell is going on over there? Biggs Golf Talk is roundtable discussion, and one thing I want to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, and last week, Bill the Golf Father Quavers, we had an unboxing for the ShotScope Pro L1 rangefinder, and we'll have an official review on that as soon as the snow melts. Yeah,
I know, right? It's insane.
I'm in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and it's I got snow on the ground. So
yeah, I'm here in Florida, and yeah, I don't have snow on the ground. Sorry.
But from the recent proposed changes to the rules of golf, the PGA Tour on Tuesday announced it will begin testing distance measuring devices, what we know as rangefinders, during competition rounds on the Web.com Tour, McKenzie Tour, and PGA Tour Latin America later this year. One of the USG and RNA's proposed rule changes was to allow the DMDs, which we know as distance measuring devices, beginning in 2019, although a local rule could be adopted to ban them on pro tours. For the testing, players and caddies will be allowed to use rangefinders during 4 consecutive predetermined tournaments this summer. The testing begins in April and will be finished in July. After the tests and evaluations are finished, the Tour and Player Advisory Council will discuss the findings and reassess the situation. Annie Pazder, the Chief Tournaments and Competitions Officer for the Tour, said the evaluation will consider the impact on pace of play, optics, and any other effects they might have on the competition. Rangefinders being allowed on the tour might speed up the game, but it would be quite the change, especially for caddies. Last month, John Wood, the caddy for Matt Kuchar, said in Golf Tour Confidential that if rangefinders were allowed, it would take out the skill involved with figuring out yardages, according to golf.com. Bill the Golf Father Cuevas, Amanda the Golf Diva Robertson, and it looks like it's a step in the next direction of how players and will be getting their yardages in real time. My issue about this is a lot of these rangefinders come with slope. And how can you can't tell with the rangefinder that I have from ShotScope whether the slope is activated or not physically, so how can you patrol that, and how can you control it? Who wants to go first?
Well, I a lot of the other ones have it,
right?
Bushnell.
Yep.
They pull out. You can see the color that that's on the slope. Yeah. So a lot of the slope features, they do it intentionally to activate it and deactivate it. I haven't played with the ShotScope yet, but I do have this. I have this. We talked about them. So I got the new one that just came out. I don't know if you guys can see it.
Yeah.
Zero friction. I know you got to, because it has the plastic on it. So you have a lot of new ones coming out. And as we started seeing, because we were talking about it not long ago, when we started seeing, we didn't know that ShotScope was coming out with one. We've seen all these new ones coming out. A lot of companies are coming out. And I'm trying to figure out if somebody let something out of the bag, that all these companies are coming out with these rangefinders now. Yeah. And I mean, this year, there's a lot. We've seen a lot of them coming out. Companies that you wouldn't even think would come out, that weren't even inside the electronics components of golf, are now coming out with their own rangefinders. Yep. And I'm trying to figure out, honestly, I wanted to know if they had any kind of clue to it. But like with the slope stuff, the slope tells you what a yard. You don't think they're going to know? These guys are professionals. They know that already, though. I don't know if it makes much of a difference for them. I want to see the results. It's only 4. It's a test. Let them test it out. Let's see what happens. I don't, you know what? Slope it. Don't slope it. When you slope, have you tried to slope, Biggs? It usually tells you on anything.
I have, yes. The Tech rangefinder that I have had slope. And again, that visually you could tell whether you have the slope activated, because when you pull out the front edge of it, it's yellow around the rim, and you could tell you have the slope activated. I have used the slope, especially when I know I have an uphill green or I have a downhill green. I want to know what the yardage is with the slope, and rangefinders are pretty good at that. So yes, I have used it, and it has come in handy.
Yeah. So you figure, but what does it normally tell you? 3 yards, 2 yards, minus, plot positive, and stuff like that. Us, it ain't gonna affect us. I mean, I'm happy if I could hit it to 6 feet within the pin at any given place where I'm at. These guys are shooting darts.
You know what? Yes, it would help us, Bill, because I'll tell you why it would help us, because an upslope green could be an extra 10 yards. That means an extra club. If the wind is blowing, you got an extra 10 yards. Now okay, I'm going to go 2 extra clubs. So in a way, it can help the amateur. My issue is, how do you control it on the tour if you don't have that physicality of being able to see a slope activated on a certain rangefinder? Or do they say only these rangefinders are allowed on tour where that can be monitored?
I don't know if they can do that. How can you close out a certain group? Why would you be able to close out? I don't want to use their brand. Now you're going to open up the possibilities of you got Ricky Fowler that's always on those commercials with Bushnell. He's gonna. I mean, does he care about he's gonna get paid. He wants to. These guys want to get paid. So if they have a sponsorship, how can you knock out one brand that wants to compete with the next?
Let's turn to the professional that has probably used rangefinders during practice rounds and pro-ams and stuff like that to get her yardages and put them in the book and stuff like that. They feel that this is going to possibly speed up play. Amanda, the Golf Diva Robertson, do you agree?
Yes. So I am probably as far on the side of excited about this as anyone could be. I do not think slope. You want to use slope? Go ahead. I think it's hilarious because, like Bill said, here's the case in point. When I look at something and I look up to an elevated green, like my guess is going to be pretty decent as a pro. It might not be spot on. I may be a couple yards off, but I'm not going to miss it by 10 yards when I think about it. And here's the thing, as far as a caddy, like these caddies are such crybabies, I swear. And don't get me wrong, I am all
Richard Henderson, not a crybaby.
Well, no, he's a crybaby too. But but here's my thing. So I think caddies, just because you have a rangefinder, and I had this conversation with Bill earlier, but a rangefinder isn't replacing the caddy. No. You still have to put in the work. I still want to know my carry numbers. I still want to know the slopes of the green. Yep. When I'm scoping from the fairway, it's giving me a number to the pin. Now, sure, I might be able to scope like the edge of a bunker, but it's definitely like, I want to know that you walked it off from the bunker to the flag. I want to know from front edge to back edge, which these rangefinders, they're not quite that accurate. Like I can't pinpoint precision the cut line of the green. So who cares? Now, one of the comments that one of the caddies had said was that it's going to, take away the skill of finding your yardage. But not to be mean, there's not really skill in finding yardage. You find the marker, and you walk it off, and you know where your pin placement is.
The marker's there. They're telling you. So what are you doing? You walking it off.
That I've used a rangefinder, they were allowed. It was like a state open. For me, so like instead of having to go over to the 150 marker, and then I have a pin sheet, and then I mark it off, and I go, okay, the flag is 7 from the middle, so I add 7 yards. Well, if I scope it, I know that's directly to the flag. Then I can just say on my pin sheet, hey, the flag's 14 on, so I can subtract 14, and I still have to do some numbers work. And that's where my caddy comes into play. And he had made the comment that it's going to level the caddy field because there are caddies that prepare more than others, and it's going to now bring them back to even. But I don't think so, because if you're not calculating those other numbers, you're still behind. Rangefinders do not make the player better. They speed up play. That is it. You literally, like, it's It's
And-
going to help pace of play tremendously.
I just don't understand how that yardage is going to impact a
Yeah, you
caddy
still have
that
to hit a
much.
good shot.
The ones that are preparing that they're talking about, they still got to go read those greens. You
Right.
still got to get all these
Well,
numbers.
you
What's
got
going
to
to come
figure out
back?
what it's doing around that flag too.
Yeah,
Is it
exactly.
left to right? You know, so yeah, you could say, okay, the flag is 137. However, I needed to hit 125 for it to take on that slope, you know, going into the hole. You know,
That's
so
what
you
I'm
don't
saying.
hit it at 137.
Right.
You know, or it's uphill. Okay, I got to go behind the flag. So instead of 137, so you have an idea.
Mhm.
Okay, 137 to the flag. What is it doing around the flag?
That's right. How about the wind?
Well,
Where's the wind coming from? There's a lot of variations that are going to go into it.
And so my thing is, if I'm getting my number from stepping it off or from this rangefinder, I still have to choose my club and make a decision. The rangefinder isn't telling me to hit my 7-iron.
Right.
Like there's no advice given from the rangefinder. It's giving cold hard facts. This number, but those cold hard facts are not that hard to acquire if I walk over and paste it off and I have my pin sheet. And I still will use my pin sheet with a range. See, a lot of people, I think, on the amateur side think that the pin sheet goes out the window when you have a rangefinder, but it doesn't, because I have to know my landing areas. Doesn't just because I have a number to the flag, I don't want to fly it to the flag. So
Right.
I've got to look and say, okay, that pin is 3 off center. So, or it's 14 on. So that's how much room I've got in between. It's still number crunching. It's still part of the game. It's not going to change. I guarantee it is, other than speeding up pace of play, it's not going to change anything.
So let me ask you this. You know, I talked about it, and my mind's kind of changing now about the slope. I say, hey, you know, if you have a rangefinder, allow all the features on the rangefinder, you know, because you're not going to be able to patrol it. And like you said, you know, you have to consider the movement of the, you know, in front of the green. I mean, if the pin's in the front, how many tournaments have we seen Bill the Golf Father Cuevas? We've walked and we've seen the caddies out there throwing dozens of balls to see what the front edge is going to do on the green. Is it going to roll backwards or what? And they're making notations. And Amanda, I'm sure your caddy did the same thing, going out there, you know, on a Wednesday or a Tuesday and walking the course and taking some golf balls with them and you know, throwing it around to see what it's doing. So I say, and I don't know if you guys agree, and as we, you know, come to the end of this, you got about 3.5 minutes, but I say if you're going to allow a rangefinder, you got to allow all the features on a rangefinder.
Sure.
I agree. I don't think anybody should be eliminated. It's a test project anyway. So let them go out there,
see what it
keep
does.
track. Who's playing with what? Who's using this? Have them register it and get their numbers. You're going to know who's hitting it better, who's doing this, how is it really affecting the game? Are they shooting lower scores? Are they shooting high? It doesn't matter. Let's just get the data.
I've always felt like they tried. So like on the pin sheets, certain tournaments don't give you the actual calculation. They'll just show you the two numbers and then you have to do the math. But I'm like, why? They're just trying to trip you up. But that's how I feel about, like, just take all that baloney out of it and let's get to the cold hard facts. Let me hit my shot.
And I think regardless, the caddies don't.
It's going to speed it up because now during an actual tournament, you see how much the caddies will walk 10, 15 yards ahead to get a mark and then
get a number and have to come back.
And have to come back, you know, or walk all the way up to the green, you know, and whatever case may be. I think this will save some of that.
It will.
And they have every mark in the world to help them pace it off. If you play in a mini tour event, you're lucky to find one sprinkler head with a number on it. So the fact that, I'm telling you, I've played so many tournaments where there's not nearly enough markers out there to help us. And so rangefinder you have to have or you're toast.
Yeah.
You know, and the other thing too is if you want to speed up pace of play too, knock off some of the commercials that you guys play during the televised, you know, thing, and that, because a lot of these times now with golf, they're continuing to play. They're not holding the players up to say, okay, we're doing a commercial break right now. Hold on.
Yeah.
They continue videotaping. But you know, so I think a rangefinder, if you're going to allow the rangefinder, allow all the features. I know
A good caddy is a good caddy, Biggs. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. The rangefinder is not going to eliminate anybody, and because
Your
you
caddy's
don't
more
do
than
this,
a number cruncher. Your
Exactly.
caddy's there
Oh, yeah.
to keep you mentally
lot
in
more.
the shot, not
That's
just
right.
what the number is.
yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's going to go into it. You how many times you hit that pin and and all of a sudden you hit it, the wind takes it to a different direction. You got to still have all kinds of crazy knowledge to know what's going to happen. So
Yep.
I don't think it's unleveling anything.
I don't think it's unleveling anything, too. All right. With that said, I think we're all in agreement that, if you're going to allow a rangefinder on the tour and you're in the testing phases, and we'll be, keep an eye on this and bringing you the latest news regarding all the testing and things like that. But what are your thoughts? Your thoughts out there, and leave it in the comment right here on, on YouTube. You can leave it in the comments or on our website at bigsgolftalk.net or .com. But what are your thoughts about the rangefinder? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's not a good idea? Why? And what would be your solution? Ours, I think we're all in agreement. If you're going to allow the rangefinder, allow all the features to the rangefinder.
Yeah.
All right. With that said, more Biggs Golf Talk. I know Amanda's got to take off. We're going to head into hour number 2. Amanda, have a great weekend. And
Thanks, guys.
don't forget, I'm going to make a burger. There you go. Kicking ash, baby.
I didn't
All
get mine yet.
Thank you so much. I'm sure it's in the mail.
Maybe.
Check the mail.
I'm always last. You guys cut me up. I don't know. I'm quit.